Dear students, now we are going to discuss uptake and transportation of mineral nutrients. Uptake and transportation of inorganic nutrients. Uptake means absorption by root system. Uptake and transportation of inorganic nutrients, mineral nutrients. Mineral nutrients, what are they? So inorganic nutrients, what are the inorganic nutrients? Okay, so first one, carbon, hydrogen, oxygen. These are the non-minerals. Non-minerals. Reason, their origin is not from the soil, from environment. Okay, it's not from the soil. Remaining, what are they? Nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, calcium, zinc, boron, molybdenum, manganese, magnesium, sulfur, and so on, iron also. Like that, many are there, etc. So all these are the minerals. Mineral means its origin is soil. So what about the origin of minerals? Minerals are from soil, rock, earth rock, parent rock. They are produced by means of weathering process, disintegration of parent rock. Okay. So now, what about absorption of these inorganic nutrients? Okay. Carbon and oxygen. First one, carbon and oxygen. Carbon and oxygen from the CO2 present in the environment. Definitely carbon is from CO2 only, 100%. And maximum amount of oxygen present in a number of biomolecules is coming from CO2. So CO2 is major source of oxygen. In a number of biomolecules, oxygen is present, that is coming from CO2, maximum extent. And what about hydrogen? Coming from H2O. So hydrogen definitely coming from the H2O. And what about oxygen? Maximum oxygen is from CO2, some extent from H2O. So that is about so-called non-minerals. And what about minerals? And all these carbon, hydrogen, oxygen are absorbed in without any charge. No charge. Without any charge, they are absorbed. But what about minerals? All these minerals. Minerals are absorbed in ionic form only. Ionic form means either positive charge or negative charge. They are with charge, polar molecules. Polar molecules. Okay, so there's about a difference between non-minerals and minerals. Now, what about uptake of minerals? So definitely carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, definitely from the environment, maximum extent. Particularly carbon, oxygen from the environment. H2O from the soil. So H2O is passively absorbed from the root system. And the CO2 from the environment passively absorbed. But what about charged particles? Okay. So now what about uptake and transportation of minerals? Now uptake. uptake of minerals. Uptake of minerals. Don't forget that minerals means they're with a ionic form, charged particles. Okay, right? So here, soil is reservoir of a number of inorganic nutrients, minerals. Okay, farmers also adding a number of fertilizers in which nitrogen, potassium, calcium, zinc, boron, like that, so many minerals are added. And how that root is able to absorb these charged particles. So for example, this is a root system. And this one is a root hair part. Okay, so here minerals are absorbed in ionic form only. Ionic form. And here minerals are absorbed in both active process, both actively and passively absorbed. Maximum number actively, some are passively. So in this case, pumps. Pumps means carrier proteins present in membranes of all the cells, including root hair, are concerned with either active transport or passive transport. More particularly, they are concerned with active transport. Okay, so here minerals are absorbed from soil to root hair. So what about that absorption? Definitely active absorption. Initially active absorption. So from less to more. The reason is these inorganic nutrients are in ionic form. So minerals are charged particles. Generally, for the transportation of charged particles, compulsory carrier protein is required. And maximum extent metabolic energy is required. Reason, here transportation is against their own concentration gradient, less to more. Less to more. So here, less number of minerals in the soil, more number of minerals in the root system. Okay, so here the transportation is against concentration gradient. Ionic form, charged form. As they are in charged condition, compulsory they must be absorbed by means of carrier proteins only. And they are passing through the membranes. Compulsory active transport. So against concentration gradient. Against their own concentration gradient. So that's why maximum number of inorganic nutrients are absorbed in or by means of active transport. The reason is most of them are almost all charged particles. So transportation against concentration gradient, initially compulsory. So now what about the movement of water passively into the root system? Water movement is passive. So because of active transport, more number of minerals here, less number of minerals here. Concentration gradient is established between soil and root hair. Okay. And what about psi W values? More negative, less negative. Less psi W, less psi W, more psi W. Definitely. Less psi W, more psi W, less psi W. For example, in the soil, for example only, psi W value is a negative value. I'm taking minus 0.2, for example. And root hair psi W value is minus 0.5. Less negative, more negative. Less negative means more water potential. More negative means less water potential. Then what about the movement of water passively into the root hair? Once water is available within the so-called root hair, that will be transported into epidermis, general cortex, and so on. But here, the main barrier within the root system, in root, main control point within the root, this is very, very important. In root, main control point is that is endodermis. Endodermis. So endodermis with carrier proteins, they are very selective, highly selective. Carrier proteins. Carrier proteins present in the membrane of endodermis are very selective. They select only certain number of inorganic nutrients into the xylem. Highly selective. That is the main control point. So the controller is carrier proteins. They are able to decide quantity and quality of inorganic nutrient to be transported into xylem. So that is the main control point. From there, for example, this is a root system. For example, root. So ultimately, minerals are available within the xylem. For example, this red colored one is a xylem. So here, by means of either active or passive, inorganic nutrients are available within the xylem. Once they are available within the xylem vessel or trachea, passively, 100%, passively transported from root to shoot. So initial absorption of inorganic nutrients from soil into xylem, up to the xylem, both passive and active. Once minerals are available, inorganic nutrients are available within the xylem, what about the transport within the xylem vessel? Passive transport. Reason? There is no restriction. That is, a trachea or vessel is a dead one only. So definitely apoplast moment. 100% apoplast or not? Definitely apoplast. For apoplast moment, no restrictions. Charged particles without charge, they are able to transport through the xylem vessel and trachea. That is under the control of a transpiration pull. So entry of inorganic nutrients up to there means before xylem vessel, both active and passive. More by means of active, less by means of passive. Once they are available within the xylem, they are pulled towards apex by means of transpiration, right? So that is about the uptake of minerals. Next, what about the transportation? By means of a transpiration pull, translocation. What about a translocation of inorganic nutrients? Definitely by means of transpiration pull, according to cohesion tension theory. So for example, they are transported from root to shoot. Now, what about unloading areas? Unloading. Absorption is from soil. And what are the unloading areas? And what are the sink regions, utilizing regions? For example, this is a soil surface, root system, minerals, inorganic nutrients, minerals here I'm taking. Now they are passing through the xylem. So this black color one is a xylem. Because of transpiration pull, transported. Now take one leaf. So this one is leaf. Leaf part. And that leaf is with mid-vein, lateral veins. So what about unloading of inorganic nutrients? This is a vein ending, vein ending, vein ending, vein ending. So unloading of minerals, inorganic nutrients from vein endings. What is vein? Vascular bundle present in the leaf. Vein endings. From vein ending by diffusion. Either simple diffusion or facilitated diffusion, usually facilitated diffusion. Okay, so Unloading of minerals from the vein ending. Unloading, unloading, unloading. After unloading these minerals, now unloaded minerals absorbed by sinks. Sink means utilizing part. Okay, unloaded minerals which are available within the leaf lamina, absorbed by sink by active process. By active means only energy is required. Now, what are the sink regions? What is a sink? Sink of minerals means minerals utilizing or they are in need of minerals. What are they? Generally, young plant parts, young tissues. What are they? Young leaves, meristems, young tissues also. Young leaves, tissues, particularly meristems, all type of meristems. Go back to anatomy, apical meristem, lateral meristem, intercalary meristems, all meristems, flowers, fruits, seeds, embryos, zygote, and other tender plant parts. All these are the sinks. They have to absorb all these minerals by means of active transport. These are the sink regions of so-called minerals. Right? Next. Now, what about the mobilization of mobilization of inorganic nutrients within the plant body? This is very, very important. Okay, so first one, elements which are mobilizable, readily mobilizable. Mobile elements. Simply I'm taking mobile elements. Readily mobilizable elements within the plant body. Second one, immobile. Immobile minerals. Readily mobilizable, not readily mobilizable. So what are the mobile elements, mobilizable elements? Nitrogen, N, nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, sulfur. Okay, most mobilizable elements. Immobile, calcium. Okay, so if the element is mobilizable, what about the movement of molecules? For example, this is a shoot system. And this one is old leaf. Senescing, yellowing, old age. Senescing or old leaf. Okay. So if the leaf is old, okay, a number of biomolecules are broken down. Now, nitrogen, potassium, sulfur, and phosphorus. Nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, sulfur are mobilized from old leaf. Mobilized from old leaf to the young leaf. Okay, so retention of all these inorganic nutrients in the old one is not required. That will be that leaf is going to be removed from the plant. So no use or not. Like our grandparent, retention of too much money in the grandparent, in the hand of grandparent is not required. That will be transferred into young one. Just for example. So that's about movement of so-called mobilizable elements. So in this case, deficiency symptom of nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, sulfur appear in old one. If total money is withdrawn from the grandparent, definitely no food, no look after, no treatment. They will be abandoned or not? Reason, no money. So deficiency of nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, sulfur appear in old leaf. Reason, they are transported to young one. Now, what about calcium? For example, leaf, old leaf. Okay, youngest leaf. So calcium is here. No transportation. Reason, calcium is a structural element. In most of the cases, involved in the formation of cell walls. Calcium pectate. The major inorganic component of a cell wall is calcium pectate. So no mobilization, no movement. So there will be no transportation of calcium from old leaf to young leaf. Okay, some grandparents are retaining a lot of money. They are not giving money to grandson. So under these conditions, deficiency symptoms appear in the young one. What about grandparent? Strong. Okay, so that's about mobilization of inorganic nutrients. Now, what about chemical analysis? Chemical of xylem exudates, means materials present within the xylem transported by xylem. Okay, so chemical analysis of xylem transport, xylem exudates, and phloem exudates. Means what are the materials transported by xylem? According to chemical analysis, xylem is concerned with, this is also very, very important, transportation of majorly water. Major component is water. Next, minerals. And what about nitrogen? Nitrogen. Maximum part of, more amount of nitrogen, organic form. Organic nitrogen, maximum. So maximum part of nitrogen is transported in organic form. What is that organic form? Amino acids. Amino acids particularly. So maximum part of nitrogen, organic amino acids. Some part, some amount, some inorganic. What is this? What is that inorganic? Ammonia. Okay, NO3 minus, NO2 minus. Inorganic form of nitrogen. Next, sulfur and phosphorus. Less amount of, less organic and more inorganic. Okay, less organic in the form of amino acids and other lipids or DNA, RNA containing phosphate. Next, hormones. Hormones also. Definitely organic. These are the chemical components present in xylem exudate. Something is transported. So what are the materials transported by xylem? All these. Now, what about phloem transport? Phloem with. In phloem, what are the major components? Major part is, major part, maximum part is water plus sucrose. disaccharide. Maximum carbohydrate is transported in the form of sucrose. And other sugars. Maximum water, sucrose, sugars. Next, some amount of inorganic components. Next, hormones. These are the chemical components. Okay, so generally, what about our traditional belief? Xylem is concerned with the transportation of only inorganic. Wrong statement. Phloem is concerned with the transportation of only organic. Wrong statement. Reason, for example, this is a phloem part. This one is phloem. And this one is a xylem. These two are side by side. Definitely exchange of materials possible or not? From phloem to xylem, xylem to phloem. So as exchange is taking place between phloem and xylem, both are able to transport both organic and inorganic. But here, xylem is able to transport maximum amount of inorganic, less amount of organic. Phloem, maximum organic, less inorganic. In xylem, less inorganic. That inorganic is because of transportation of inorganic materials from phloem to xylem. Phloem with some amount of inorganic nutrients, they are transported from xylem. So some mutual exchange is in between phloem and xylem. Some amount of organic matter into xylem, some amount of inorganic matter into phloem. So that's why both are able to transport both organic and inorganic. Okay, right? So there is about xylem transport and phloem transport.